All right. Cool. All right, we're gonna do a quick review of this Airstream that we have right here. This guy came down from Jackson Hole. We're gonna be turning this into a concessions trailer, specifically tacos. This thing is in pretty good shape for as far as the body goes. We had a very unique thing that we discovered once we pulled all the skin off. There wasn't anything inside of here. It was just some wheel well covers, and there was some flooring had been redone, and then it was just the skin. So the exterior, there's not a dent in this thing. But when we pulled the skin down, we discovered that every single rivet in the body is all Olympics. I mean, around all the windows, everything. And it's just kind of weird because this has the original skin underneath it, right? So this is the original skin, and this is the outside skin. And it's like that in the whole trailer, where they just skinned over the original skin, and we're not sure why they would do that if there's not a dent or an issue with the original skin anywhere. On the outside, it looks like it's the original patina. So it almost seems like they did this at the factory or immediately after this was built. You know, all the sealant and everything looks period 1970s. Just wild, like every single seam in here is all Olympics everywhere. So usually what happens is on the inside, instead of removing that whole piece of skin and then reskinning it, if you have an impact, a lot of times you can either cut away that impact or whatever, but you leave the rest of it on there because it's been sealed, and it's pretty good structurally to just, you know, throw it on top because the Olympics aren't as structurally sound as the buck rivets. So they'll leave everything on there and then they'll skin right over it. But the fact that we inspected all the interior skin that they left, and there's not a single dent or impact zone on any of it, and then they skinned over the whole thing, is just kind of bizarre. And you can tell from the outside when you look at all these rivets that they were Olympics. And so like every one of these windows, I mean, they pulled all these things out and then redid it and then sent it on its way. So kind of wild. I mean, hell, if somebody came to us right now and said, hey, I would just like to replace all my buck rivets with Olympics, and you had to drill them out. Those Olympics are like $1 a piece. And if you've got 2,500 rivets in here, I mean, it's costly. But in any case, it's held up really well, and it looks great. So it'll look even better when we get done with it. We'll actually got the polishers coming out here in a couple weeks to knock this thing out and give it a shine. So we'll have some quick updates here on that. We're excited to get another concession trailer in here and send it on up to Jackson Hole to fling tacos. Every one of these is a unique discovery when we bring them in, and that was this one's unique discovery when we started taking it apart. But we're gonna be putting a big giant service window right here, and then the rest of it's gonna be pretty industrialized kitchen. So we're excited to get jumping on this one pretty soon. Obviously you can see from the floor there was some pretty serious rot in the traditional spots. The rear end's kind of falling in, around the wheel wells is rotted. So we'll do a shell off. So it'll be some cool time lapse to watch of this thing coming off the body, updating it, reinforcing it for the new additional weight, putting a service window in here, and getting this thing up to Jackson Hole to fling tacos at events. So stay tuned, and yeah, check out the build. Hopefully we'll be pumping this thing out actually pretty quick. So at the end of the summer, just in a few months, we'll have this thing kind of up and ready to go. So stay tuned.